How you guys doing today? This is Darius from Down on the TV. Welcome to the channel. So today I want to talk about Chris Brown proves why women going to concerts is spiritual cheating. It proves the hypocrisy of a lot of women where they say, oh, I don't kiss on the first date. Oh, they have all these list of requirements for the average man. But for the men they truly desire, the 2% of men, the 1% of men that they really want, they have no boundaries, bro. She don't know Chris Brown from the man in the moon. And I want to talk about this video because it really proves that modern women are hypocritical. And it proves why a lot of men have checked out in the dating market, whether they date overseas or they basically stay celibate and just cut off women in general and just focus on themselves. Because what this lady did, so not only she has a whole husband, she's married, right? She's cheating on him and the husband was there. A whole humiliation ritual. This is why I say concerts are spiritual cheating, because women are actively lusting and desire after these men, these celebrity guys who they pay to go see. See, women only will pay for things that they truly desire in their heart. Women are willing to pay $1,200 just for Chris Brown to grab on their ass and take a picture. And this proves that men shouldn't marry these women because they're hypocritical, they lack honor, and they're really not worth marrying. Because look at what you're not thinking about, how this gonna make your husband feel. He's actually like cool with you going to a concert and you break the trust by kissing a man in public, knowing this is gonna go on social media and this makes you look really bad. So let's look at the video and break it down. And look, the husband, he like, damn, this is bad, bro. This is crazy. I feel for him. I truly do. Because what can you do? You support your wife, because a lot of dudes have no spine and no backbone to say, hey, you're not going to a concert, because it's literally spiritual cheating, because she's lusting after another man. She's paying and lusting after another man. And you're supposed to be okay and cool with it. And a lot of women say, oh, it's harmless. It's just fun. But no, it's not that. This is why the Lord talked about when Christ said, what a man does in his heart defiles him. So that's why I'm saying, like, when you do something in your heart, a woman going to a concert, going crazy, oh my God, Chris Brown. And I'm not picking on Chris Brown, but I'm showing that he's basically the conduit of female nature. He's basically showing you female nature, how they act in truth. And it shows you in her heart, if Chris Brown would have told her like, hey, let's go backstage, let me blow your back out, she would have did it. If she's willing, imagine what she would do behind closed doors. This is what she's willing to do in front of her husband's face. Let's look at it. Kissing him. That's crazy. That's crazy. This is what she's willing to do. Man, me looking at it, I feel bad for a lot of brothers. Imagine black women are already the lowest married racial group. This right here is a complete, where it makes you give up on marriage. Like, this modern marriage is a joke. Because if this is what she's willing to do in public, imagine what she's doing behind his back. This is why I say, you brothers, don't marry these women. Don't do it. You wasting your time. These women, a lot of modern women are uncoachable. They're not submissive. They're selfish. All they think about is themselves. You're going to end up like this brother here, where because he's married to her, he can't just walk away from the marriage, because she's going to take half his assets She gonna put him on alimony, child support. So he can't just walk away from the situation easily without losing half of everything and having to pay her for the rest of her life. So a lot of brothers just end up staying in a bad relationship, and the woman doesn't have. Imagine your wife say she love you, but she kissing another man in front of millions of people, and it's gonna be on the internet. This is why I say you have to be logical when you're picking a woman. You have to see, is she coachable? Is she selfish? Because if she's willing to pick a stranger, Chris Brown, over you, a man who is willing to die for her and do anything for her, then that's not a woman you want to be with. I understand that you don't want to be alone. You love this chick, you have feelings, but a man has to will over his nature and will over his emotions and do the right thing for the long-term benefit. Because now this guy looks like a complete nut. And how can you look at your woman in the eyes and believe that she loves you when she's kissing on Chris Brown in public, in front of everybody? This looks very bad, bro. And this is sad. It looks very bad. It's sad. And there's no need for marriage. Modern marriage is a joke. It's all about leverage. Because she knows she has the leverage that if he leaves, she's just gonna take all the money and prizes from him. She can do this with boldness. She doesn't respect him. She doesn't love him. The main thing you should want to have is respect from your wife or your girlfriend, because love is fleeting, but respect has consequences and boundaries. This is what you should want from a woman. If a woman tells you she loves you, ignore that. That's bullcrap. Don't even listen to that. If she respects you, if you tell your wife or girlfriend, hey, I don't want you going to any concerts. I don't appreciate it. It makes me feel some type of way. I don't want you to go. She should be like, okay, I understand. Okay, cool. But if she be like, no, you're insecure. It's just fun, blah, 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 blah. Cut her off. Don't be with her, because she's choosing a concert over you. Imagine what she'll choose over you when shit gets real. So I'm not blaming Chris Brown. Chris Brown is basically the conduit showing female nature in full display. The internet is a double-edged sword. A lot of people blame social media for how bad dating is, but social media also has shown the average man female nature and the hypocrisy in full display, that women have boundaries for average men, but for the top tier men like Chris Brown, Future, and Drake, they have no boundaries. They would give sex up immediately. He ain't got to take her on no dinner dates. He ain't got to get to know her. But you, as an average man who would actually love and respect and treat her good and take her seriously, Chris Brown just going to use her up and then get with the next woman. And I'm not blaming Chris Brown. I'm blaming that it's men's fault. Like, look at this. Excuse us. Look at the flock of women that's following him. Look at all these women, beautiful women. Female nature in full display, that these women have no boundaries. All these women want is to have fun and have their cake and eat it too. And unfortunately for us average men, there's no hope, because the only way to get a virtuous, good woman that's worth marrying, and you still shouldn't marry in the state, you should marry in the spirit, is that you would have to get a woman outside the city. You would have to find a woman that's in the church, like really in the church, and who's naturally submissive. Because look at all these beautiful women following one guy. Chris Brown don't love the women. He's just gonna use them and do his thing. And I'm not knocking him for that. If you're a 1%er guy, hey, have your fill of women, have your fun. But for the average man who can't even get a 5, or if they're like the other guy where you married a chick because she's forcing marriage upon you, then you get humiliated and disrespected live on the internet. So it's crazy. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about this situation. Don't let your lady go to concerts. And if If she's willing to pick a concert over you, she wasn't for you. Break up with her. She actually did you a service. This is sad. It's really sad how our forefathers messed up, because sometimes you have to realize that giving somebody too much freedom will end up hurting them in the long term, because modern dating and relationships are bad for women too, because a lot of these young ladies, they get ran through, used up by these men, and then when they're in their 30s, they have all this baggage, all this bad spirits, all these resentments and hatred towards men and disappointments, because the men that they went after, the top 10% of men who used them and threw them away, now they putting out those traumas and bad energy on settling for the average dude, and they get mad at him. And women complain about dating is bad in Houston, dating is bad in DC, dating is bad in Atlanta. Women are terrible at picking men. Women don't know how to keep a good man. Women can't pick a good man. This is why our forefathers had arranged marriages, to protect women from themselves. It's very important that sometimes giving women too much freedom can destroy them, and it's destroying society. This is why the birth rates are low. This is why marriages are low. The system is messed up and it needs balance. But anyways, thank you guys so much. This is Darius from Down on TV. Please like, click, and subscribe. I'm out.